Live. Maloko, I do understand that the president has been there. He's addressed the residents, but what is the president primarily there for? Is it there to win over voters and to persuade them to believe that they are dealing with service delivery issues?
The answer to your last two questions is yes. The president has said that he is here as part of this Letsema campaign that he relaunched sometime in April or March this year in the Free State. And he is saying that obviously they, as the ANC, as the governing party, must be seen to be addressing issues of people, issues of service delivery, and as the ANC calls him, the volunteer-in-chief. They want to galvanize not only their members and supporters, but also members of the community to, take the lead, to be in the front line in as far as issues of service delivery are concerned. So we saw the president in the morning, just about after 10 o'clock, arriving at the local shopping center there and walking for about 200 to 300 meters, literally getting his hands dirty, picking up rubbish. Some people would say that is really the work that ought to be done ordinarily by the local municipality. But the president was seen alongside with members of the ANC National Executive Committee, some of whom are cabinet ministers, the premier of the province, Refilwe Mtsweni, as well, obviously the provincial chairperson of the ANC in this province. Now, he, after picking up rubbish, obviously it was symbolic, Heidi. He did not have to do it for the whole day. He then proceeded to another part of this township in Delmas called Boiketlo. He then went on as workers were patching potholes, and he joined in. He at some point took over the compactor. For about 10 minutes or so, he was doing the actual manual labor of patching the potholes. Again, symbolic, really, about the optics, trying to project an image of a president who is caring more about services. Obviously, this is a president who is under siege, trying to fend off all the pressures coming from various corners. Within the ANC, we know they are heading for the national conference in December. He certainly wants to be seen. And also in Parliament, there's a process to have him impeached. But also this whole Phala scandal, South Africans seeking answers. But let's listen to him as he was responding to questions why he is doing what he is doing today.
The Letsema campaign is our main marquee campaign to revitalize the ANC, and in many ways it's also aimed at the renewal process, the rebuilding of the ANC, focusing on strengthening our branches, but getting the ANC to reconnect with our people, particularly around practical issues. It's no longer hairy-fairy talk type of stuff. It's more of doing things to address the service delivery challenges that our people are facing, and getting our branches to get involved in service delivery issues through the Letsema campaign enables us to also strengthen government, to strengthen local government, to get our local government structures to focus on what are the basic needs of our people. The ANC indeed can be focused on service delivery, can get its various members and members of the community to also focus on what I believe matters most to the people of our country, which is the delivery of better and efficient services to them.
Well, look, maybe just speak to us about what the president's response was to this parliamentary process currently underway to remove him.
Well, Heidi, you are talking about the process to appoint panelists who are going to investigate whether there's a case for the process to remove President Cyril Ramaphosa as head of state in line with Section 89 of the Constitution as a motion that was put in place or forwarded to Parliament by the ATM, the opposition. And now the process is very serious, Heidi, while it's very difficult, of course, because it requires not only 50% plus of members of Parliament as it would be with the motion of no confidence. With impeachment, it would require at least a 2/3 of members of Parliament. So it would require not only members of the ANC, but also members of the opposition to agree together and remove him. And there would be 3 grounds really on which you can impeach or remove president in line with Section 89. 1, it would be if he has seriously, underline the word seriously, violated the Constitution. Number 2 is if he has committed a misconduct. Number 3 is if he lacks capacity, either because he's sick or he simply can't do his job. And if he is removed on the basis of seriously violating the Constitution or the legislation or for misconduct, the Constitution says he will have to leave office. He will also lose the title of president. He will no longer be called former president even, and he will lose the perks, the lifetime salaries and 24-hour protection even after leaving office, and he will never hold public office in his lifetime. Now, he is saying that he is not unsettled by that process, and he is also saying that he is aware that he is not indispensable, he is not irreplaceable, going on to say that he is aware that as a deployee of the ANC, he is simply there as a mere deployee. Those are his words, and saying that ultimately it is the ANC that is the governing party and the backstops with the African National Congress.
Rather interesting, Moloko. I want to quickly ask you about his views around what's happening in the ANC in Gauteng regarding Premier David Makhura. Of course, there were rumours that the PEC had a discussion around whether or not they should remove Makhura as the Premier. What did the President have to say about this?
So, Heidi, our viewers would recall that a few weeks ago, 2, 3, if not 4, the Sunday World newspaper ran with a story saying that the Gauteng government is actually mulling over the possibility of removing David Makhura as the premier of the province and replaced with the new provincial chairperson of the ANC, Panyaza Lesufi, in view of the coming elections in 2024, just so that he can be the face going into 2024, considering that Makhura will no longer be eligible to be premier in 2024 because the Constitution restricts him to only 2 terms. We saw yesterday there was a meeting of the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC in Gauteng that took place at the Terfontein horse race in Johannesburg, and it started at around 2 o'clock. We are now getting rumors that the Provincial Executive Committee has actually taken a decision to remove David Makhura officially as Premier of the ANC, and he would then be replaced by Panyaza Lesufi. Now, the President, when the question was posed to him, he is saying that he is aware of those discussions that took place in that meeting of the ANC in the province of Gauteng. But he is saying that he would rather wait for a formal report by the officials of the ANC in Gauteng to the officials of the ANC, giving reasons and arguments over the decision that they would have taken, and a decision will therefore be taken forward by those two structures, the ANC in Gauteng and the ANC at the national level. And he was asked whether he would consider co-opting David Makhura in his National Executive Council as either minister or deputy minister. He's saying, look, I would rather not preempt that process, but yes, we will wait to hear from the African National Congress in Gauteng. But the rumors certainly have grown more credence, Heidi, because if the president is saying he's aware of such discussions, obviously he would not the speculating. He knows he possibly would have received a briefing informally so.